if Elias Lindholm is going to continue to be a 5-on-5 offensive anchor for David Pastrnak, then they got to split those two up. I don't care about what Lindholm's contract is or how much he's making or what his no move is. You got to get him away from Pastrnak or split up the trio of Pastrnak, Geeky, and Lindholm. And to be honest, they have. Like, more recently, it's been Pastrnak, Lindholm, and Husnudinov to start games, and then Geeky, Minton, and Asimont. But then they go back to Geeky, Lindholm, and Pastrnak not too long into the games. And even when Husnudinov is playing with Pastrnak and Lindholm, he's on the wing. And I'm telling you guys, there's something about Elias Lindholm. He just doesn't do any one thing very well offensively. He's not an above average passer. He's not an above average shooter. He has zero one-on-one playmaking ability, and he's not an above average skater or a speedster. He's very much an above average faceoff guy, and he's good defensively, and I'm not trying to take that away from him. But Elias Lindholm, when's the last time you watched Lindholm at 5-on-5 and said, "Oh my God, what a great give and go with Pastrnak there," or what a pass by Lindholm, or what a shot by Lindholm? He doesn't do anything. And to prove my point on Elias Lindholm, right now he has 11 goals, 28 assists, 39 points in 48 games. Okay. That is an 82 game pace of 19 goals, 48 assists, 67 points. Not bad, right? Not bad. But let's look at the numbers a little bit further. So as I said, he has 11 goals, 28 assists, 39 points. He's 11th on the Bruins in 5-on-5 scoring with 16 points. Okay. So only 41% of Elias Lindholm's points are at 5-on-5. Okay. Now let's look at David Pastrnak for an example. Pastrnak has 22 goals, 50 assists, 72 points in 56 games. Okay. So he is ranked number 1 on the team in 5-on-5 points. And 51% of them are at 5-on-5. So yes, a lot of David's generation is coming from the power play, nearly half, but he's the highest point scorer on the team, and he's the highest point scorer at 5-on-5 on the team. Elias Lindholm is, 4th or so on the team in scoring overall, or 5th, but he's 11th at 5-on-5. So essentially what I'm saying is he's a power play merchant. And that's great that he's been good in the power play, because the Bruins have a top 5 power play in the league, and you need that, right? So good on him for being good on the power play, and he's been good with Pavel Zacha in neutral zone transitions and zone entries in the power play, and he's been good in the bumper and all that stuff. But at 5-on-5, Elias Lindholm has just not been nearly good enough, and I think that it's one of the reasons why David Pastrnak has kind of altered his role into more of a playmaker. Right now, don't get me wrong, David's always been a playmaker, okay? But here are his numbers the last 3 seasons. And I say the last 3 seasons because he never missed a game. In the 22-3, 23-4, and 24-5 seasons, David played 82 games all year and didn't miss a playoff game either in years that they qualified. So in 22-23, Pastrnak had 61 goals, 52 assists, 113 points in 82 games. 23-24, he had 47 goals, 63 assists, 110 points in 82 games. Last year, he had 43 goals, 63 goals, 63 assists, 106 points in 82 games. This year, David's on pace for 32 goals, 73 assists, and 105 points in 80. Well, actually, I take that back. That's an 82-game pace. David will not play a full 82-game season because he already missed some games. But if he did play 82 games this year, his pace would have been 32 goals, 73 assists, 105 points. So his goal scoring clearly has taken a tick down. His overall point production is relatively, would relatively be the same over 82 games. A couple points shy of his norm the last few years. But my point is his goal scoring is down. And the question is, why is that? And I think it's a combination of reasons. I think he could be playing hurt, but I don't think he has enough offensive playmaking around him. Morgan Geekie's a finisher. He's not a playmaker. Elias Lindholm's not a playmaker. So I just think that if the Bruins want to, optimize their season and optimize their potential as an organization, you have to surround him with better talent. And the good news for the Bruins is that there are some young, prospects on the way. I mean, James Higgins to me is a guy that maybe not this year, but starting next season, you staple him alongside Pastrnak. And you want to talk about a guy who can, find David in the soft areas of the ice. It's going to be Higgins. So I'm looking forward to that possibility. But as far as right now, he needs more help. And as far as Elias Lindholm goes, I have some serious questions about what they're doing with him long term, because right now he's supposed to be their number one center, and at 5-on-5, he's in the middle of their roster in scoring. Well, what's he going to be like in a year or two? And what does it look like, when you have James Higgins and Pavel Zacha and Fraser Minton and, all these, like, where does Elias Lindholm fit in? Now, I know Zacha's not under contract for beyond next season, right? So you can make the case that Zacha doesn't get re-signed and Lindholm's your 2 or 3C or something like that. But I'm telling you guys, he's playing like he's generating like a 3C right now. In fact, less than right now. Let me pull this up. Right now, Elias Lindholm is 11th on the Bruins in 5-on-5 scoring with 16 points. Fraser Minton, who is your third line center, has 21 5-on-5 points. So right now, Fraser Minton is outproducing Elias Lindholm in 5-on-5 offensive production. And he's a rookie. So Elias Lindholm isn't even producing as a third line center right now at 5-on-5. Minton's outproducing him. So they got, listen, I know he's got a no move for a couple more seasons and he's under contract for a bit, but it's not a story for right now. But the Bruins got to figure out what to do with Elias Lindholm long term, because I don't think that contract is good. Not even so much the contract dollar amount. I just don't think he's gonna fit the lineup very well in a couple of years. I just don't. We'll see what happens there.